You think one of these Bigfoots done starting to get smart on us? Starting to make weaponry?
That could be possible. What if we just came out of no man's land where we found this stick and we're entering a different territory? But looks like this one's got propped up against a tree for a lean-to, looking like. This looks like it's got some old blood on it.
It does, don't it? Whoa, what the heck was that? I think it came back up the hill. Jim! Jim!
What?
In the deep south, there are creatures that even the locals are afraid of.
These creatures can live anywhere from the deep woods to the swamps.
Now, 3 Southern boys are going out to find these creatures. Alright, well, we back down here looking for Bigfoot. It's been a little bit, so I think they have gotten back to
Full strength?
Yeah, being used to us not being here, because when we were down here, we were really giving some disruption to them. So, we're just gonna come back in here, check things out, see what's been going on.
Poke the bear while he's asleep.
We're gonna poke him. Maybe chop his toes off a little bit. Some good stuff. So, alright.
Hold on. PVC pipe laying in the middle of the wood.
It's that little stream bed.
Sure is.
You remember when we had built this dam here that one time?
Yeah. It's been destroyed.
All the sticks right there laying
Piled up.
all over.
This one's got spikes tied to it with fishing string. My fishing string's been going missing out my shed too.
You think one of these Bigfoots done starting to get smart on us? Starting to make weaponry?
That could be possible. Especially if he got kicked out of the tribe and he's having to fend for himself and ain't got no hunting buddies.
That could be true. A lone Bigfoot don't really have that much power.
He's stronger than a human, but they also ain't got guns, so they hunt together.
Yeah, they're pack animals. Bigfoots is pack animals.
Kind of like people are. We like to be around other people. It's a bit crude, but I mean, I guess something as strong as a Bigfoot.
Whack something with that right here. Alright, well, we were just walking through the woods there and found our old stream. And we had built a dam around it, but the dam wasn't there and all the pieces were strewn everywhere. And when we got closer, we found this real big stick with these 3 spikes tied to it with fishing string. We were thinking that a Bigfoot might have got kicked out of its tribe and was using that stick to hunt with.
You want to take this with us, or you want us to put it back?
I reckon we ought to take it with us. I mean, we don't want the Bigfoot having weapons on us, coming around flanking us.
Yeah, but what if he gets mad at us?
Well, I got a gun, and you got his stick, so then what's he gonna do?
Well,
we
I
got
guess
him
you're
there.
right.
We got him on that one. You gotta work smarter, not harder. Unless you're doing physical labor, then you gotta work harder, not smarter. Life lesson.
It looks like there's been a tree pushed down to make an archway next to another one that's been bent over.
Yeah.
I guess when we walk through this archway, we're gonna be entering Bigfoot territory, unless we're leaving it.
Yeah, we haven't figured out where these archways are.
But I know the swamp's back that way. And there's more archways down there, so what if we just came out of no man's land where we found this stick and we're entering a different territory?
That could.
Because remember, we got the swamp Bigfoot, then we got the woods Bigfoot.
Yeah, that could be. Actually, this tree goes on the, up on the ground. That's where it comes from, right there.
Yeah, it sure does.
I don't like them airplanes flying around us.
What if they got them cameras on them and trying to watch us?
They might be watching for Bigfoot. You never know.
Ain't no telling.
It looks like there's a giant creek bed keeps going up on this one. It looks like there's a big hill right here too.
Yeah, that is a big old hill. Alright, let's go.
Yeah. Holy crap, look how many archways there is. There's two big ones right here. All these trees is actually.
But looks like this one's got propped up against a tree for a lean-to, looking like. We found some archways with leaned over trees stacked up against each other. And it's real weird. We think that's the Bigfoot's territory markings, and well, we find them all over, and we never know which way is going into their territory or leaving, so we never know what we're coming up into. And then there were some houses that's similar, except they're lower to the ground, and it'll be a limb stacked up against a tree, and sometimes there'll be more along the sides, like they was making a roof. Sometimes they're not, like they abandoned the project or hadn't got around to finishing it yet. This one is too. They got laid down in the fork of this tree.
I don't like them having houses in my woods.
Well, our wood.
Look at this one. This is a really small one.
Might be a youngin' trying to imitate his parents. Alright. Looks like there's been a path beat up through here.
Spiders. I'm thinking the spiders and Bigfoot are starting to work together.
They might be.
What if
What you see?
I see some weird things sticking around. Damn, come over here. Look at this. It's got a direct path straight back to you. You see that?
Looks like a twisted stick stuck in the ground.
It's probably some kind of idol, totem.
That's possible.
It's got this path leading right up here, actually beat down path. You can see it dips down.
Like high traffic area.
In a circle, you can see that it's actually pushed down around this. When we came up this hill, there's this path that went right up to the top, and there was this big stick which had these 3 knot bulbs around it. It was really weird. It kind of seemed like maybe it was a ritual site, because the ground around it was all patted down except for just this one little circle where it was sitting. We think they might be worshiping something.
You want me to pull it up?
Probably not. That's probably a bad idea. Look at that tree right here. Look at that tree.
That one's been pushed over.
This one has been ripped over.
And then
This one right
that one
here.
got leaned up against this one.
All these trees' bark has been ripped off at the base. You see that?
I see. You reckon they could be using the bark or something?
That could be. I want to check both of these ways. That looks like a good way too. More here. Check that out here.
Looks like there's another one on the other side of like the creek. Yeah, I see water down there. Hey, look. This looks like it's got some old blood on it.
It does, don't it? You think there could be a fight going on up here or something? Or this could be some sacrificial spot?
It could be.
This could be a sacrificial spot.
But that's definitely red stains on that piece of wood.
See, that's the way you never know what can be done. This is very messy creek.
You hear that? Something came from off in that direction. I don't know, it sounded like a growl. Like something that wasn't happy. There ain't a whole lot of noise.
It's actually been very, very quiet now.
That means predators around that the animals don't like.
And they usually always chirping when we in here, so it's gotta be something different. There's probably a squawk or something different.
Now it's starting to thunder.
Heavy feeling.
Go on ahead, Dale.
Let's see how thick it is. You know, dead bodies, when they decay, they make the ground fertile. So I think this is right here is a sacrificial spot, and they're putting their dead Bigfoots in here to make the ground grow. What are they sacrificing them for? I don't know. It might just be sacrificing them to beautify the place, you know?
So that means we probably shouldn't be around this area because, like, the Indians, they'll curse us. And
What if this was like where they bury all the sick?
Yeah.
We might catch some.
they probably won't like us being here.
When have they ever liked us, Dale?
Probably
I have
when
shot
we
a
didn't
hole
bother
in
them.
them a couple times.
Yeah, before then, they probably liked you a lot better.
Cops moving coming this way.
Really?
Yeah, it's off over there.
Listen. Did you just hear that?
Yeah?
Yeah, let's head on back up this way. Whoa, what in the heck was that? I think it came back up the hill.
We was walking, we was checking out stream bed, and then out of the side of my vision, I see something fly past my head. And I said, what the heck is that? Then it hit the ground right next to Billy Joe, and it looked, and there was a stick. It wasn't nothing big, it was about like that long, about that big around, but that joker was moving fast. That would hurt one of us pretty bad if it would have hit us. It had to have come up the hill.
That went right by my head.
We just came down the hill, and there was a stream there, and Billy Joe proposed the idea that because it was so green and so lush, that it was a Bigfoot burial ground. And I didn't really like the idea of us walking around there, because you don't walk around an Indian burial ground. They'll curse you, they'll do all kinds of bad things to you, ruin your life. And so I didn't really like that, but went anyways and got some sticks thrown at us. So wasn't a very good idea.
Go over that hill there.
I don't see anything.
It's gone now.
You want to go forward?
Let's keep going over there.
Alright, Billy Joe, be ready for that gun. What's your idea? Flank it down? You want me to go up and around? Alright.
There you go. tracks right now. Serious business. He's loaded. Careful, Jim Bob. What'd it sound like? I thought I heard some twig snap over to my left here. There could be more of them. Be careful. Jim! Jim! I think there's more of them. I can hear them way off in the distance.
I don't know where that came from, but I don't want to be around it. It didn't sound too happy.
All right. Well, y'all hold position here. Actually, y'all move back.
So Billy Joe had the idea for me to flank around, try and flush the Sasquatch down towards him so he could get a clear shot on him. Well, I went around up there and started hearing something off in the distance, and stick flew at me, and a big old stick, about that long, about that big around, and it hit a pine tree and exploded. And then there was a big old holler. He sounded angry. And I decided that was time for me to get out of there and head back towards the group. That dog is not liking a Sasquatch sound.
Yeah?
Run! What?
After Jim got back, I decided to go up myself. Whenever I got up that hill, I turned and looked, and wham! Sitting there in that bush was a Sasquatch. He was kind of crouched down at first. He had this dark hair on him. He was just staring at me. And whenever I aimed my rifle at him, he stood up. He was about maybe 8.5 feet tall. He was a big horse. And just before I shot, he screamed at me, and I shot at it. I took off.
I reckon that ought to be enough for one day. We don't want to get him too angry at us.
Yeah. I think that's enough.
There's a limb went sore next to my head. There's a big old limb too. I couldn't throw it. There's chucking limbs from behind me. That's y'all.
We were going back like Billy Joe said, and we heard some gunshots and some hollers and stuff, and we started running. Back to the path, and Billy just kept firing, and there's hollering, and they were running, and Jim Bob almost tripped one time. That was a close call. And we finally made it back to the path and waited on Billy Joe. He got there all safe. We were worn out by that time and figured that we had better wrap it up and go back home.
Let's get out of these woods.